New from Smith & Wesson, the CSX. We wanted to cover it, we wanted to tell you all about it because it's blowing up the internet, everybody's excited about it. So this is the Smith & Wesson CSX. It's a 9mm, very small, just to kind of give you an idea as a quick glance at it, how big it is compared to my hand. It is not an M&P, okay? This is not a Shield, this is not an extension of some other gun, this is a brand new platform for them. And this is obviously, as you can see, it's a hammer-fired gun. Interesting. And it has an ambi-thumb safety. Interesting. Also, this is an aluminum alloy frame. This is not a polymer gun. So there's a lot of things that are different about this. Now, it does have interchangeable backstraps, these palm swell grips that have that M&P flavor to them. Kind of look similar to the changeable backstraps on M&P guns. A 20-ounce gun. It's pretty small, pretty lightweight carryable. It does come with a different size backstrap that you can swap out if you want. It also comes with a changeable mag release button for left or right. And this is a pretty ambi gun. Even the slide stop is an ambi slide stop. Has metal white dot sights. It has some cuts on the slide that are kind of anti-glare, glare reduction cuts on the top. Now the trigger. Trigger is a solid-bodied trigger. I'd call it a solid-bodied trigger. It does have a little safety lever, little dongle there, as I like to call them. But it's a pretty nice trigger. Flush fit mag, 10 rounds. Extended mag, which is not really that much longer, 12 rounds. So if you look at that, the extended is, gosh, maybe a 1/4 of an inch more, and you get 2 more rounds. I kind of feel like, why wouldn't you just carry the extended mag all the time? The other thing that people are gonna ask is, how does it compare to other guns? So the CSX compared to the Kimber Mako, okay? Kimber Mako came out last year. It's a gun that I like, but it's a different gun than this one. I will say first off that the CSX is probably the smallest gun on the table. By a little bit, not by a lot. And let's just put this mag in so you can kind of get a look at what this looks like. This is the flush fit mag. This is the Kimber Mako, okay? Now, obviously, Kimber Mako is ready for an optic. The CSX does not have an optic cut currently. Now, let's compare it to the Hellcat. I think that's one that's it's going to compare to a lot. Now, this Hellcat does have an optic on it. This is obviously striker fired versus a hammer fired gun. Very close in size and shape and feel. Now we've got the Ruger Max 9. Ruger Max 9, slightly bigger. I didn't mention the barrel length on the CSX is 3.1 inches. The Colt Defender. Why is the Colt Defender here? Well, this has that 1911 feel, and obviously this is going to be smaller than a Colt Defender, and Colt Defender is going to be heavier, and it's only going to hold, what is this, 7 in the mag, I believe? And this is in 45, so a little bit different animal, but just wanted to have it there on the table to compare. GX4, the Taurus GX4, kind of similar in shape and size. One of the things I notice about the CSX is the trigger guard is a bit smaller than pretty much all of these guns. So this is something that, depending on the shooter, you're either gonna like it because it's trim, it's just a smaller footprint, or you're gonna have big meaty sausage fingers and you don't like it because you have a problem getting your finger in there and running the gun. Again, it's just a preference thing. Now we've got the M&P 2.0 subcompact. Obviously, it's gonna be a bit bigger than the CSX, but I will say my first shots out of the CSX, for being such a small gun, not a lot of recoil, very controllable, kind of liked it a lot. And then we've got Shield Plus. So this is the slightly older brother of the CSX, the Shield Plus. Now it is a little bit bigger. It's about a 1/2 inch longer on the slide and barrel. And, you know, it's just a different thing. So the CSX, it's kind of 1911-y because it does have a hammer and it does have a thumb safety. So let's talk about the thumb safety on the CSX. It is an ambi-thumb safety. I kind of like that. I think they may have found a sweet spot for a lot of shooters where if you want to have a thumb safety, you're familiar running guns like that or 1911 style guns, but you don't want a big thumb safety for your carry gun because either it's poking out far and it could poke you when you're carrying it, or you're worried about it getting caught on clothing. This is a pretty low profile thumb safety. The other thing for me is on a thumb safety, I want something where I don't have to adjust my grip to run it. And that's pretty true for me, for my hands on this. I can actually run the thumb safety without having to make too many adjustments to my grip. Now let's talk about the trigger, because there's some talk online about the trigger. We actually ran a trigger gauge on all of these guns, and it ranges from 3.5 pounds up to about 8 pounds on the triggers of these guns. Now, let's run a trigger gauge on this and we'll get an average and see what kind of pull weight we're getting. All right, so we're gonna do several trigger pulls here. Let's just get an average here. We're using the Lyman digital trigger gauge. And trigger pull is really gonna be specific to the shooter of what you prefer or like or feels the best for you. Sometimes it's the weight, but sometimes it's not about the weight. It's about how smooth it is. Let's do one more. All right, what's our average? Average is 5.12 pounds, okay? So 5.12 pounds, that's kind of in the middle of what we saw from all of these different guns as far as a trigger weight pull. But let's shoot it, and then we'll kind of see how it feels, and what do we think? Whew. Mags are a little tight at first, you gotta really get them in there. That's not uncommon on a pre-production or an early production gun. All right, CSX, let's shoot this. This is the 10-round magazine. Like I said, small gun, pretty controllable. Something I'm noticing, well, empty mag pops right out. Full mag, it was kind of, had to pull it a little bit. So I think it's still breaking in a little bit. Now let's put in the 12-round magazine. Now these are just 115 grain FMJs, nothing fancy or crazy. All right, hold on a second. I just noticed something else that you need to see on this gun. Check this out, thumb safety, right? Here we go. But you can run the slide with the thumb safety turned on, okay? Safety is on, gun will not go off. Now it's loaded, here we go. Pretty accurate little gun. Let's try the little plate. Pretty cool, pretty cool. So CSX from Smith Wesson, this is a cool one because it's so different for them. I think a lot of people are gonna like it. It's a nice shooting gun. If you like a thumb safety, this is gonna be a great option for you because this fills a niche in a category of size and capacity that is fairly specialized. There haven't been a lot of guns like this in the market. So check it out, it's available now. MSRP on this, and on the street, you're gonna see this for around $600, somewhere in that ballpark. CSX from Smith Wesson.